Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Should I try that again? Good morning, everyone. There we go. How is everyone feeling today? Good. It's a beautiful Sunday. Welcome to Unity of Tucson. I'm Reverend Jonathan Zenz, the senior minister here at this beautiful, beautiful space that we join together in as a spiritual family. And we're going to kick off today a day of celebrating love with our opening song, one of the songs that I love to bring to this community. If you feel like you want to move your body, please do so. I stretched my hands out to the sky and danced with monsters through the night. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, I'm never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now. Ooh, ooh, this is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. Ooh, 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 ooh. I howled at the moon with friends, and then the sun came crashing in. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. But all the possibilities, no limits, just epiphanies. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, I'm never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now. Ooh, ooh, this is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. Ooh, 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 ooh. I hear it calling outside my window. I feel it in my soul. The stars were burning so bright. The sun was out till midnight. I say we lose control. Ooh, ooh, this is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. Ooh, ooh, this is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. Everybody's alright, everybody up now. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. Oh, I'm just looking out of the beautiful faces of all these beautiful humans, grateful to have you here and joining us this glorious, glorious Sunday morning. Once again, welcome to Unity of Tucson. We are a spiritual community. We gather together each week on a Sunday to celebrate all that is good in life. And what I think is all good in life is the inherent love that is the core beingness of each and every one of us. So we're here to celebrate life, love, light, peace, power, beauty, joy. We're here to celebrate all the attributes of God that is God, and that is who and what we are. I'm catching my breath, can you tell? I would love it if you one thing I started a few weeks ago is if you have a smartphone, I would love for you to get your smartphone out and go to YouTube Facebook or our website, one of our pages on YouTube or Facebook, or to our website where we live stream, and put into the chat function a hello to everybody who's joining us live online today. And I want to say thank you for joining us live online today. And even if you're watching on the replay on an archive, grateful to know that your energy is part of this experience here today. And when you're complete with that, you can turn your phone, your ringer off, so that we can experience the time free of any distractions. But I never tell people to put their phones away because I take notes on my phone. So the funny thing is, every time I do this now, people go to the video and I hear the video playing back. It's what we do. Now, you may not believe everything you hear today. This is one of the things I love to say. You may not believe everything you hear today. And that is okay, because here what we are encouraging everyone to do is to tap into what it is you do believe. So if you hear something that pushes up against your belief system today, take the opportunity not to immediately dismiss it, but to say, something's going on here. Maybe this is something I can look at. That's what today is really all about. And we have the opportunity to do this every single day. So you may not believe everything you hear today. I do think you will hear something that you do believe. And this whole thing about spiritual practice is that we are in an exploration of belief to find out what it is that we have rooted in our belief system, because our beliefs are creating our experience of life. So let's get in touch with what those things are. How are you today, Linda? Good. We carry a vision and mission here at Unity of Tucson, and I would love for you to share with me these words of our vision statement. Here they are. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. And the vision is how we see the world. The mission is what we do, the practical steps we take to get there. And so this is what we will share together as the steps of our mission statement. Here we go. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Now, yesterday, I had the delight of being part of the group of people that are studying right now to become small group leaders in our community. And we talked a lot about the mission statement yesterday. And we all acknowledged that it is simple language, simple ideas, not always easy to embody, right? Yeah, so let yourself off the hook if you're feeling a challenge around any one of these steps. If you are joining us for the first time today, first of all, if you are online joining us for the first time today, I want to say a special thank you for joining us and being part of this experience and part of our community this morning. We'd love to connect with you even more. So if you go to unitytucson.com/connect, there's some information that we'd be delighted if you would fill that out, and we can continue this connection, and deeply grateful for you sharing this time with us. If you are here in the room for the first time today, well, we have a gift that we would like to offer to you. So if you are comfortable with identifying yourself as someone who's here for the first time today, please stand up so that we can give you some love, spread some love. Thank you. Yes, welcome. Grateful to have you here. And remain standing for just a few moments. Yes. As Ross brings those gifts around to you, please remain standing for a moment, because I need to let you know something else. And it is this, that we knew you were going to be here today. And so we did a little research into you. And we found out something about you. And I think it's time that we all share that with those who are joining us for the first time today. Does that sound like a good plan? Okay, so here's what we found out about you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You are magnificent. Yes, you are. And thank you for joining us, shining your light and sharing this time with us. You can be seated. Thank you so much. Now, we know that about you because every person we encounter is a reflection of that which is inherent in us. And so we know your magnificence because we see it as a reflection of our own magnificence. So let us, as a community, online, in the room, wherever we are, let us state out loud together this: I am magnificent. How does that feel? And the rest of you? I am magnificent. You know, does it? For whom does that make you feel a little uncomfortable? It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Here's part of my mission in ministry: to normalize our sense of self-magnificence. So I'm going to keep saying it, and I'm going to keep inviting us all to say it. I would love for you to please welcome today our keeper of the flames, our licensed Unity teacher in our community here, and what a delightful being she is. Teaching our Wednesday night class right now, this is Susan Smith, here to light the flames of faith.
Thank you.
The flames of faith, So the flames of faith is a ritual that we have adopted here at Unity of Tucson to honor the traditions, the faith traditions, and the religions of the world with this understanding that each and every one of them is rooted in one thing, and that is the pure golden thread of love. And so we celebrate that with each candle that we light.
Good morning, everyone. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to divine love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universal religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practical universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony, and for any seekers who may be unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are keeping open for them in our hearts. We light up this final candle to represent the healing of any circumstance that requires divinity to be revealed. This is your candle for whatever it is in your mind and heart that requires the light.
Thank you, Susan. The candle here on your left is our peace candle, which we keep consistently illuminated with this understanding that it represents the consistent illumination of peace in our hearts. And as we allow that inner peace to inform our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions, our deeds, our intentions, that we collectively create a world of peace that begins right where we are. So let's honor this candle by reading together the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. As I was sitting and enjoying the ritual that we've adopted here, I started thinking about the nature of ritual and how soothing it feels to me. You know, we say the same things every week, and what I'm going to invite us to do as we move forward too is to more deeply consider what is offered, even if it's the same words. What is the energy and the true meaning that exists behind the words? Just something to consider. Here with some magnificent words to share with us is one of our prayer chaplains on duty today with a reading and affirmation, and who will also lead us in prayer. Please welcome Mirta Nebecker.
Good morning. So today's reading, the one I chose for today, is from an extract of the book Getting in the Gap by Wayne Dyer. The gap, silence, is the space between your thoughts. The purpose of entering the silence, the space between your thoughts on a regular basis, is to be able to make conscious contact with God. By making conscious contact with God, it is said that you will come to know the power of that source and use that power to attract anything into your life. God is that one force in the universe that is indivisible. There's only one force, one power, and you can't divide it. And the only experience that you can have in your physical world, which is indivisible, is also that of silence. Everything else can be divided: up, down, right, wrong, good, bad, male, female, even life, death. But silence, no matter how many times you cut it in half, you still have the same. In the silence, you're making conscious contact with the indivisible force that is the source of all of your power and all of your joy and all of the fulfillment in your life. And now we're going to do the affirmation. So, I'm sorry, I've been away for a while. So I'm going to read it once, and then, if you like, you can say it twice more with me. The affirmation is, boldly I commit a deeper willingness to shine my light. So now if you wish to repeat after, boldly I commit a deeper willingness to shine my light. And once more, boldly I commit a deeper willingness to shine my light.
Take a moment to look around at the faces of other people in this room, recognizing the God essence that exists within each and every one of them, as each and every one of them. Just make that connection as we settle in to some contemplation that all is well. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is.
Every thought of God life strengthens and heals me. Present in my body temple, I focus on the truth of divine life. I choose thoughts that align with life, vitality, vigor, flow, health, and wholeness. Every thought of truth strengthens my body's systems and functions. Every thought of truth blesses and heals. I am one with divine life. In gratitude, I affirm that this is so now. I release, I let go, and let God. And so it is.
All it is entirely possible you may be wondering who this person is that was singing with me. Because this is a person who has not been introduced yet this morning, but I am now about to make that introduction. I want to talk very briefly about mythical figures. Because whether he knows it or not, the man sitting back here to me is a bit of a mythical figure. You all know, I've said it many times, well, maybe you don't all know, but many of you know that I was born and raised here in Tucson, and my previous life before I stepped into ministry was as a musical theater actor. I don't think you even knew this. But I grew up going to see shows here in Tucson, of course. I went to Saylock. I went and saw all the shows at Saylock. I would go to Gaslight Theater, and this is a man who was very much involved in all of that, and so there was this figure of a person that I would wanted to emulate someday. And I did for a good long time, just not in Tucson, because I left Tucson to go pursue my dreams of musical theater life. And then I became a minister and decided it was time to return home. But this man holds a very special place in my heart, and I'm so deeply honored that he has chosen to be with us today. Please welcome Armin Dertadian.
I'm going to do this after that. Oh, thank you for, let me compose myself for a second. That was very kind of you. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true this quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
Arm Entertainment, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's unfortunate he has no talent. So it's an interesting way that I introduced Armin today, because I talked a little bit about how he was somebody that I looked up to, that I wanted to emulate. And I realized something in preparing what I wanted to say, because I knew I wanted to say that. I knew I wanted to say that. Because in my journey of deepening spiritually, part of that exploration has been to live sometimes within this question. Who would I be if I didn't have anyone else to compare myself to? And I think this is a good question for us all to ask. Who would you be if you didn't have anyone else to compare yourself to? It's a pretty deep question, although it may not seem so deep on the surface. It's a deep question because it calls into our conscious awareness the notion that we are actually consistently comparing ourselves to other people. And who would we be if we let go of all those comparisons? Our tendency, whether we admit it or not, is to let others determine, and it's not purposeful, it's not like others are out there going, you need to be this, but we let others determine who we should be because we look at other people and we say, oh, I like that, I don't like that, I like that, I don't like that, oh, I really like that, and we try to emulate. But what if we got rid of all of those considerations? What would be left? What would be left? Well, I have an idea of what would be left. And it's an idea that I don't know what that was.
Formulated.
Actually, it's going back to my voice and movement days in college. Ooh, be free, let the body be free. To let go of what I think I should be in comparison to other people, what am I left with when I shed all of that? Who am I? I mean, isn't that really, in some ways, the most fundamental question that brings us to a spiritual practice when we ask, who am I? What is my purpose here? Well, we have a teaching in Unity, in the entire New Thought movement, that fundamentally, we are God. Because God, being the infinite power and principle of creation, it is not some, and I know I say this every single week, but I'm going to keep saying it every single week because we always have new people here. And I want to make sure that I'm very clear. God is not, we don't teach that God is a being out there. God is the beingness, the energy, the creative source of all that is. And we cannot be separate from the infinite, which is why I hold firm in my resolve to state firmly and out loud, I know who I am. I know who you are. We are God. There can be nothing separate from God, because if there were, then it would not be infinite. It would be finite. And we would be finite. And oftentimes I think we consider ourselves to be finite, but we're not. Fundamentally, at the core, we are infinite. And we spend a lot of mental energy considering all the effects of life, all that stuff out there, all the circumstances and the experiences. We spend so much mental energy concerning ourselves with those things and not concerning ourselves with what I think we should be concerning ourselves with, which is the cause of all those things. To draw ourselves back and go to the root of the root, as Rumi says, to find the core of creation that is at the deepest level of each and every one of us. While we express as form, the truth of our being is we are pure energy, which is why I love to say we are light. We are luminous celestial beings, each and every one of us a star, and we are made of star stuff, and we should shine our light. I think and hold very firmly in my heart that our time here on in this experiential plane is and should be devoted to considering the potential truth that can free humanity from the consistency of sameness, thinking that we are the same. We're not. We're all unique individualizations of wholeness. And I think that the more we explore that possibility, the more we explore that potentiality that it lives within each and every one of us, frankly, the better our lives get. That's what I have found. That my life has just gotten better and better and better by allowing myself the luxury of exploration. When I was in high school, I took a class in high school, my sophomore year. That class was called Social Issues. And I think about that class now because I think that would be a class that would be frowned upon in current curriculum. But this class in Social Issues, we explored all kinds of things that were, how do we view the world? How do we understand? How do we participate in the world? Was a lot of the core of what this class was looking at. And I remember we talked a lot about the transcendentalist movement. And if you're not aware, New Thought was born partially out of the transcendentalist movement. One of the most magnificent influences on the New Thought movement was Ralph Waldo Emerson. I remember a quote, because you hear Emerson quoted all the time, and there was this one quote that stuck with me when I was in this class, and it was this: consistency is the hobgoblin of small minds. Consistency is the hobgoblin of small minds. And I thought, well, I don't want to be consistent. I don't want to have a small mind. That's not for me. Years later, I found out that they left a very important word out when they offered that quote, because the quote actually is, a foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of small minds. That's a pretty important adjective to use. A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of small minds. A foolish consistency may be that desire to emulate, that desire for sameness that resides in the hearts of many. Sameness is always rooted in comparison, I think. Because how can we consider ourselves the same or different unless we are living in that state of comparison. Yet the comparison with others limits the fullness of our own expression and potential. And so that's how I get it now. I get it now. I'm like, oh, a foolish consistency. It doesn't mean that I shouldn't have some consistency in my life, because frankly, consistency is how I manage life. Anyone else? We do find ways of consistency and being in consistency in our lives so that we can manage it. Because trust me, it would be utter chaos if there weren't some level of consistency in the expression of our lives. But the question to ask is, am I choosing to adopt a consistency to please others or to conform to other people's opinions? Or am I knowing the truth of who I am, which is God? How do I choose to show up in the world? So a foolish consistency, which is stepping into that place where we compare ourselves with others, is one thing I think that can lead to destructive habits in life. We all experience habitual thinking, every single one of us. Every single one of us. The mind thrives on patterns. Part of the work we do in this spiritual teaching is to work to replace those foolish patterns, which are oftentimes those things, those habits and thought that make us feel less than. Anyone ever feel less than? Wow, I guess my work is done here. Only one person feels less than. Trust me, I feel less than sometimes, but only when I'm comparing myself to others. So part of the work we do is to replace those foolish patterns, those which keep us feeling less than, with constructive patterns of thought and belief that are rooted in wisdom. And when we do that, we create new consistencies in life. Now, one of the things that we can do as an exercise, I'm not asking you to do this right now, I'm just saying this is an exercise that you can take away with you, is to ask yourself the question, how do I know what is a foolish consistency in my life? And I think that the question can be reframed in this way. What is not working for me in my life? Because oftentimes those things that are not working for us in our life are things that we sometimes turn a blind eye to, that are those foolish habits, those foolish consistencies. And as we awaken to them, we are put in a position of power to address them, to do something about them. So it may be, I don't know, it may be, what's not working for me in my life? Is it a relationship or a lack of relationship? Is it my finances or my perceived lack of finances? Is it my job? It's not for me, just to be very clear. There are myriad things that we can identify and define as going wrong in our lives. And you know what? We love to tell everybody what's going wrong in our lives, don't we? We love to tell people what's going wrong in our lives. Why? Because we get feedback that feels good. And so we tend to go into that habit. That's a foolish consistency. The desire for sympathy. But what if the only response anyone ever gave you to any of those things that you tried to express as not working for you, I only know the truth of who you are. If this is how you came to me and asked this, and I said to you, I only know the truth of who you are. You are the most magnificent expression of an infinite divine power there ever has been or ever will be, because there can be nothing separate from it. Would you be willing to accept that? Or would you be looking for me to, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Let's really just get into the depths of grief or upset about this together. Which do you think is going to be more powerful? I think the first one, if you're willing to accept it. That's the thing. What are you willing to accept? So there are myriad things that can go wrong. I mean, things go wrong for me. Did you know that? They do go wrong for me. At least what I define as wrong for me. because it's all in definition. So there are myriad things that we can identify as going wrong in our lives. But I hold to this. If I see what I perceive as going wrong as being based in a foolish consistency, a destructive habit of thinking, then I am in that power position to change it. If I see something that is falling apart all around me, it is not for me to say, it's not falling apart. No, that's not what spiritual practice is all about. It's about saying, I see that it is falling apart all around me, but that does not have power. I know the truth of who I am, and so I will recreate my life. I will dream that impossible dream, and I will step into what it is that is for me. How about you? This month, we are talking, we've adopted as our theme for this month, the power of willingness. That's how I'm going to keep saying it. It's willingness, not the power of will, as I talked about last week. It's not about coercing anything. It is about being in that place, that space of willingness to let the inherent love, light, and life that is our birthright flow through into expression. I had to have a willingness to let go this morning. I had a really challenging morning. And this is how it was challenging. Now, for those of you who don't know, I typically arrive here at Unity at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. And people often ask me, when do you write your message? I write my message on Sunday morning, which can be terrifying on a morning like it was today, where I sat down at my computer and my whole thought was, I got nothing. I have a talk title. I know what my talk title was. But I got nothing. What wants to be expressed? I'm like, there's nothing new. There's nothing of value that I have to say today. Here's what happens. If I accept that, the mind is creative. So what am I creating? A continued construct of not having anything to say. Thoughts, beliefs, feelings, my thought, my belief, and my feeling around that very notion of I got nothing today. That commingled into a life experience. And I sat there and I stared at that computer screen and stared at that computer screen. I stared at that computer screen. I thought, all right, I got to put up or shut up. I got to prove this principle today, because if I'm not proving this principle, then what the heck am I doing up here as a minister if I'm not practicing what I preach? And so I stepped back and I thought, all right, if I know that mind is creative, and my thoughts, beliefs, and feelings are all commingling to express as my life experience, what do I need to address this morning in that space of thought and belief and feeling? And here's what it was. For whatever reason, I woke up feeling inadequate this morning. Anyone else ever wake up feeling inadequate to this thing called life? It happens occasionally. Yeah, right? I see some hands going up. Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't want any of us to ever really buy into that feeling of inadequacy. It is fundamentally not true, even if our mind, in our foolish consistency, is making us think that it is, because it's probably tied to some long-held belief that we may have been told as a child, you're not good enough, for whatever reason. And we've carried that into the next expression and the next expression and the next expression of our lives until we finally have to say, enough, I am done. So I sat there at my computer this morning, I thought, I am not inadequate. I am the full expression of the divine power that says yes, and I have something to say today. So that is utilizing the practice of affirmation to open me up and to say, I don't need to think about how narrow my message may be today. What I need to do is say, I am open to the infinite possibility of what my message can be today and trust in the flow. And you know what? The minute I made that decision, boom, it all started coming through. And you can do this too. If you ever feel stuck, remind yourself, there is no need to feel stuck ever in anything except the degree to which we accept that we must be stuck in something. It's all up to us. It is no one else's responsibility. This is the hard thing. It is no one else's responsibility to address that feeling. I choose to be rooted in personal responsibility. In that moment, I had to say, I'm having an experience and I have an ability to respond to what is happening for me, to step into something that I would like to create. So I choose to be rooted in personal responsibility, which is the single most powerful concept for changing our experience. And many people come to New Thought churches and spiritual centers because they want to change the experience of their life in some day. They see all of these people walking out, yay, we got to sing and dance on Sunday, and it was so much fun, and I'm feeling good, and I live a life of joy. And other people are out there going, wow, they are so happy. What's wrong with them? Wouldn't it be nice to be that happy all the time? Maybe I should go check this place out. Every experience we have has been created fundamentally by us. Every experience we have in life is fundamentally created by us. And so, the place of power to understand that we are all in is we get to recreate every experience. Now, we cannot change the past, but we can recreate our experience right here, moving forward and moving forward and moving forward. And here's the issue. Many of us don't want to hear that because, frankly, it's easier to let life happen to us, isn't it? Just go along. Oh, yeah. Just allow life to happen to me. We are directors of our lives, and it is up to us to direct our lives. Who I am destined to be is who I decide and direct myself to be. How about you?
Yes.
Again, and the rest of you? Each and every one of us, we are always at choice. It doesn't always feel like we're always at choice, but we are always at choice to let the full expression of our being, to let the expression of me, of you, to be rooted in the flow of infinite source, or to be limited by a narrow perception of only the sensory, circumstantial, experiential world. Which do you think is going to move you in the direction of having a more extraordinary experience of life? Aligning yourself with that which is out there, or knowing the truth of that which is right here? Right here. This is the thing. This is the thing that's going to motivate us into action in our lives. I personally think that if we all truly got the truth of who we are, and we celebrated that in every interaction we have without ever being knocked off our course, and we inspired other people to do that, we would eliminate competition in this world. We would find that the nature of our being is cooperation, and that this world will be better, can be better, if we are experiencing cooperation and living in a cooperative state of mind. That takes a lot of work. I'm still working on that, so I'll let you off the hook if you're not there yet. Now, the foolish, those who are foolish, in a foolish consistency of mind, the foolish living only in a sense perception that has no measure for the infinite reality and builds upon false or erroneous concepts, lives a limited life. Here I am to tell you that is not who you need to be. Choose wisdom today. Let go of being lulled into that false concept that there is something else at work, because there is one thing at work, and that is the nature of creation that is you. Why do we come to believe in a truth of limitation? Well, I think part of it is because we do experience what I will say is, I'm going to use a word that you may or may not be familiar with. We experience multiplicity. We experience differentness. We experience differentness. I am not the same as Rebecca or Darwin or Mirta. I am not the same as you, except fundamentally the core of my being is the same, because we're all God. But if I look at the world and I see only the ways in which we are different, then I may habitualize a thought of difference. When we experience multiplicity and understand that multiplicity arises out of unity, then we get to experience life individualized, and we get to make creative choices rooted in knowing who we are. Sometimes we perceive those choices as being in reaction, but I think that we are better suited to moving forward in proaction. That is a choice we can make. We don't always have to be reactive to everything. Let us live in proaction. But whether or not it is reaction or proaction, here's the thing. All our choices are creative. They are creating something in our life. All our choices are creative. They create. Brilliant and frustrating at the same time, isn't it? Wait a minute, Rev. That's how I talk to myself sometimes. That's how I talk to myself when I need a good swift kick. Wait a minute, Rev. You're telling me that when I do things like sit at home and think about cleaning my floors, and I don't take action, that's a creative choice? Yeah, it is. When I think about eating well and find myself queued up at Five Guys, that's a creative choice? Yeah. When I think about how much I hate my job, I don't know why this came up twice, because this is hypothetical. The answer is always yes. The answer is always yes. Every thought, every belief, every feeling that is rooted in that shows up in action in our lives. So the thoughts that you accept become the choices you make, and every single one shows up as an effect in your life. It's daunting, isn't it? Every single thought, every single belief, every single feeling, it is all cause. Your experience is the effect. This is mind action in expression. Who you are destined to be, if you want to be something other than who you are right now, who you are destined to be is rooted in the choices you make, moment by moment by moment. I frequently say this stuff is work. Until when, William? Until it's not. And it makes this whole spiritual philosophy seem really daunting sometimes, doesn't it? Yeah, and that's okay. You mean I have to work at this? I just want to go on Sunday and sing and dance and have a good time.
Yeah, but sometimes that's okay.
Sometimes that's okay too. Thank you, Mary. I think I may have complicated this unnecessarily by implying that the work is hard. I don't think I've ever said it's hard. I've just said it's work. How you approach the work, the feeling of joy that you may approach this spiritual work with, is going to help create the joyful outflow that you seek. So it doesn't have to be hard work. Just accept the fact that there's going to probably be some work. And if we allow that lightness and joy to be the work, then we're going to experience more lightness and joy. And I, as Charles Fillmore said, I reserve the right to change my mind. Because maybe I'm ready to even let go of that idea that I have to work at it. And accept this. Accept that it is working for me all the time. And I don't need to work so darn hard at it. It's the paradox. It's work and it's not work at the same time. Mind action, which is how I understand the experience of thought, belief, and feeling. Mind action is always working in perfect correspondence to create our experiences. So the work that we are to do is the work of opening up our awareness, to waking up to what is actually happening in our lives, to freeing our minds from the thought of limitation or lack. That's the work. To say, I choose not to accept this. And it is not to turn a blind eye to the things that are happening in my life, but to know that I have the power to change the things that are happening in my life. So in awareness, we are empowered, and this empowerment opens us up to infinite potential and possibility. So who you are destined to be is a decision that is founded in infinite possibility. Peace and blessings to you. You are magnificent. So in light of that, I've decided to try to keep the homework easy this week. That was easy. You know what? Everyone should go to Staples and get that button. This is not an advertisement for Staples. I just want to be very clear. But I love that button. I used to have it in my office when I was an administrator at my church when I was training. And all the time I would go, boom, that was easy. Loved it. So here's the homework this week. If you're new to our community, I give homework every week, something practical that you get to walk away with and work on. I would like you to keep these questions at the forefront of your thinking this week. The questions are these. Who am I accepting myself as right now? That's question one. Question two is this who I am destined to be? Who am I accepting myself as right now? Is this who I am destined to be? And allow the awareness of what comes up for you, what is revealed to you, guide you into action in whichever way you choose to be in action. I'm going to invite us all to relax right where we are. Just allow this opportunity to see if there's anything that has come up that feels relevant, to allow ourselves to see if there's anything that feels challenging, to allow an openness in this moment to deepening. Whatever kernel of truth has resonated here today, let it be present in mind and in heart right now. When I forget we are one, and I regret things that I've done, I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. In this moment, I am free. For I am the infinite power and presence, as we all are. For there is only one thing going on, and that is the outflow of a magnificent inflow of thought, belief, and feeling into expression, and we call this activity the activity of God. God, the one power, the one presence, the one principle, the one energetic flow, the source of all that is. I am rooted in an assured knowledge that this being our core identity, that all we seek in the expression of our lives is available. For fundamentally, we are infinite. And I let go of anything that I consider otherwise, and I trust and know in the infinite flow. And so who am I destined to be? Who are we destined to be? Exactly who we decide to be. I let this be rooted at the core of being in my heart here and now and evermore. I trust it is so. With gratitude overflowing, I let it be. And so it is. If things go wrong and my way seems dark, and if I lose my song and life breaks my heart, I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. In this moment, I am Will you please welcome William Summers, the Vice President of our board, to the platform.
I'm about to do something that in my entire life on this plane, I never thought I would be doing. I love you, Reverend Jonathan.
Thank you.
The reason I did this is because I consider Reverend Jonathan part of my family. And it's not just Reverend Jonathan. It's our band. It's our guest singer here. It's the people online, the people that get us online, and every single one of you out in this room. You're all part of my family, of our family. And one of the things that healthy families do is they take care of each other in whatever way they possibly can. So one of the things that they do is they share their wisdom, they share their talents, and they also share of their finances. So the basket's going to be coming around shortly. And when you go to put whatever it is that you choose to put in there, I want you to remember that you're not paying the bills, you're taking care of your family, and that you are part of this family. And I love you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you, William. I invite you to take out whatever it is you're offering Unity of Tucson today and hold it by your heart. And let us share together the divine givingness statement. I share this gift with love, conscious of the inner presence as the lavish source and substance of my supply. I am rooted in the assurance that this gift blesses Unity of Tucson, and I trust in its ever-present circulation, knowing its blessings return to me. And so it is. Feel free to move your body as we sing and the baskets go around. Remember, there's a call and response here too. I circulate my love right now, I circulate my love, sing that.
Circulate my love right now, I circulate my love.
I circulate my love right now, I circulate my love.
Circulate my love right now, I circulate my love.
And it returns to me, multiplied abundantly. Circulation across the nation. It's a love vibration around the world and beyond. I circulate my love right now, I circulate my love.
Circulate my love right now, I circulate my love.
I circulate my love.
Circulate my love.
And it returns to me, multiplied abundantly. Oh, 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 oh. invite Ruth Starwell, our other prayer chaplain on duty today, to come up to the stage as she blesses that which has been collected here in our offering. Thank you so much, Ruth.
So I invite you in prayer, a prayer of gratitude, a prayer of appreciation that appreciates the gifts that are given, knowing that we are blessed in the giving, knowing that we are blessed in receiving, and that Unity of Tucson is blessed by your giving, the giving of gifts, the giving of time, treasure, and talent, that all are received, that intention of pure gratitude, pure givingness is rooted here, and it grows and blossoms and gives to everyone who comes to this place, that is touched by this place, that we are blessed. And I receive those blessings, knowing it is so, and so it is.
It is. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Thank you, Ross, Sherry. I want to let you all know that in the event that you didn't know, there is a potluck following today's celebration that's going to be in Harmony Hall. And so please stick around after our celebration and socialize and have some delicious food that people have brought. Always grateful to share time with you. A couple of other things that are happening here. This dinner gala and silent auction is coming up. Tickets are now available online or in the bookstore. Celebrate with us on September 30th. That is the date of the gala. It's all going to be right here at Unity of Tucson. If you have any leads on anything that we might be wanting to include in the silent auction, we are collecting items for the silent auction. Is Sherry here? There she is. Sherry Bolin is in the back waving her hand, and she is heading up the whole silent auction committee. Grateful for you stepping into that role, and you can speak to Sherry if you have anything that you think can be included as part of the silent auction. We're delighted to have that support. Our prayer chaplains on duty today, you've seen them both here. Mirta Nebeker, thank you so much for your magnificent consciousness. And Ruth Starwell, thank you for your consciousness and for leading us in meditation this morning. They will be available for a moment of prayer following the service today. There will be one on either side of the sanctuary, kind of in the middle of the sanctuary. If you need what I like to refer to as a 1-minute miracle, seek them out. They are powerful prayer chaplains, and I'm grateful for them. You can also submit prayer requests through our website. There is a link on our website to submit prayer requests, or by sending an email to prayer@unitytucson.com. There is also a prayer request box in the lobby, so you can always engage in allowing us the joy of being in prayer on your behalf. So take advantage of that. I want to say thank you to everybody who made today the magnificent, glorious experience that it was. I want to say thank you to our technical team, Don and Jim and Tyler today on the camera. Thank you so much. Tyler, who does everything. Yes, I want to say again, thank you, Mirta and Ruth, for your participation today in many ways. Thank you to Susan Smith, our keeper of the flames. Yes, and although he has left the room, let us say thank you to William Summers, our board member today, who's on duty. Yes. I want to say thank you to this magnificent team of musicians, Linda and Joshua and Raphael. What a delight it is to get to have this fun with you every single week. Thank you so much. And let's please offer a very special thank you to Armin Dertadian. Thank you so much. And thank you to each and every one of you for making your presence known here, not just at Unity of Tucson, but in this magnificent thing called life. I see you, each and every one of you, as God, as a blessing, and I am so grateful to get to celebrate that with you. As we complete our time here, I invite you to share with me this prayer of divine awareness. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite power. I am infinite presence. Wherever God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is. And so it is. Amen. And we'll end the day with this great song. Feel free to stand and move the body and sing along. There's a reason for the sunshine sky, and there's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season when the love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling, where your love can't hide, and then go stealing through the moonlit nights with your lover. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean. It's a season. Let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. That's the reason.
There's a reason for the warm, sweet nights, and there's a reason for the candle lights. Must be the season when those love lights shine all around us. So let the wonder take you into space and lay you under. It's love and embrace, just feel the thunder as it warms your face, you can't hold back. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean. It's the season. Well, let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. That's the reason. Let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean. It's the season. Yeah, let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. That's the reason. And let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. That's the reason. Yeah, let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. That's the reason. Make it a magnificent week, everyone. Namaste.